March has turned out to be like a shoe avalanche. January and February like barren, hardly any releases whatsoever, and March came along and just knocked us out. My name's Ed, Midsole Bud, and it's time for another running shoe, yay or nay. Welcome back to the channel, guys. You tuning in is always appreciated. The glut of new running shoes seems to never end. Now the tap is open and the footwear is flowing, like a torrent of traction and an ocean of outsole. It's yay or nay time. But before we get into that, if you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button and click the bell below for notifications when I launch those new videos for you. You don't want to miss out. And help us out with a thumbs up and also share this video with your running buddies. Merci beaucoup. Running shoe yay or nay is where I take a look at some new running shoe releases and let you know whether I'm going to pick up a pair to review. It's not me saying the shoe is terrible or brilliant. How would I know that without actually getting it in hand? I'm just letting you know whether I'm going to pick them up or perhaps whether another shoe tuber will do them more justice. Okay, now we've got that straight, let's get down to it. Shoe number one. Check this out, what appears to be a GlideRide 3. Though this time Asics are implementing some of their new foam into the midsole. Flight Foam Blast Plus, as per the cushioned Crusader I recently reviewed at the Gel Nimbus 24. Its position here though makes me wonder, is it going to be used as like a top half of a sandwich, perhaps with some more resilient and firm flight foam underneath? Is it like a little icing on the cake, as it were? It's absolutely a similar upper profile to the GlideRide version 2. When you compare the two incarnations there, they're practically identical. Though things have really progressed on from the original version of the shoe, they're really mixing it up with some new tech this time. I think the outsole's pretty much the same as the V2. Seems like the rubber layout is pretty similar. This could make for a very stable long run roller. It could almost be like a more stable and plush, I suppose, version of the Pegasus Turbo if you think about it. You've got a layer of that Flight Foam Blast Plus and then maybe flight foam underneath. It's a little bit like the Zoom X and the React we saw in the Pegasus Turbo. Call me crazy, but that's what it reminds me of. I'm quite keen, given on that I've tried out the other two versions of the shoes and I quite enjoyed them. It's just something a little bit different as well, you know, rather than just super shoe after super shoe. P-backs, pah! I think it will actually be a yay from me for the Asics GlideRide 3. Shoe 2. We're talking Nike, we're talking React, we're talking Infinity Run Flyknit 3 by You. The By You flavour of Nike's daily cruiser has surfaced on the Nike website with a whole stock of upgradable options. It's a little bit like buying a Nando's online, I suppose. You've got to select the items you want, the different sauces. You can even say whether you want cutlery or not. What's that all about? You can't order these as of filming this video, but I bet they're coming very soon. You can customise to your heart's content. There's a range of colours available for the knit, collar, swoosh and the heel clip. Even the laces can be switched out from traditional twine to a toggle-based system. And there's a welcome addition of the standard outsole or two other types. Nike's Storm Tread all-weather outsole or the classic waffle lugs made famous by Bowerman himself on those classic old school Nike running shoes from yesteryear. Sadly though, these options come at a cost, because it would have been a yay for sure, but no, not at £169. I mean, what are Nike thinking? It's like a daily shoe. Who's going to do this? Who's going to actually customize a version for 169 Earth credits? It's just madness. March madness is what it is. I mean, this is a shoe that's had the same midsole and outsole for like 3 iterations now. The upper design appears very similar as well. It's not a massive difference. I'm going to say this is a big money-saving nay for me. It's just not happening. Not at that price. It's just crazy. Shoe 3. ULTRABOOST made to be remade. Interesting to see this shoe finally drop over on the Adidas website for members. We've still got that classic stretched continental rubber underfoot, as well as the standard ULTRABOOST midsole that we've seen from the V5 DNA. Apparently the upper is quite a snug fit. It looks to be some sort of stretchy knit, but it's not prime knit, that's for sure. There's something else in prime knit that I think makes it non-recyclable. Adidas suggests the shoe is for all sorts of levels and distances, though the substantial weight of the sample size, which is 350 152 grams, 12.4 ounces, and that lower stack height of about 22 millimeters in the heel and 12 in the forefoot. That's going to no doubt reduce the use case of this shoe even more. I mean, in my UK size 11 plus, it's going to be like close towards 400 grams. And do I need another Boost shoe right now? No, I don't. This type and category, I've got loads of shoes for that, so it's going to be a nay, I'm afraid. The big bonus, obviously, of this shoe is that Adidas can actually take it back from you once you've finished using it, once you've run it into the ground, and they can grind it up and turn it into new things. Perhaps new shoes, or sweatbands, or, I don't know, cups. I'm not sure what they turn it into. It doesn't say. At 160 Earth credits, though, it's quite a hefty price. In terms of use case as well, it's going to be a little bit more limited. You could probably pick up the standard version of the ULTRABOOST 5, the DNA model that's out now. That's only 328 grams in the sample size, so do the maths. A yay on the intention, but certainly a nay. I'm not going to pick this one up. Shoe 4. You've probably been wondering why I've got the 4% Flyknit up here. There's a good reason. One last interesting shoe here is the Nike ACG Mountain Fly Low GORE-TEX. So this is a weatherized update of that Mountain Fly that we saw last year, I think, which features a React midsole, but it's got the carbon fiber plate that we saw in the 4%. That's a seriously chunky looking waffle outsole layout right there, and it creeps up around the side walls of the midsole and the toe box. The sea glass pale green is going to stay clean for approximately 1 second out there on the trails. I think if you're taking it for hiking, it's going to get pretty mucky very quickly. There's a strange lacing system here as well, which appears to loop back around the heel of the shoe, and then it crisscrosses over where the tongue would be. I suddenly feel the urge to turn my trousers inside out and hang the pockets out. Do you remember crisscross? One-hit wonders. Gotta be, surely. There are some reflective elements here, and of course the GORE-TEX application will make this a winner in the wet weather, perhaps if you're in a very moist climate, which actually is probably just behind us now in the UK. It's started to improve. It was actually very pleasant today. It's an interesting idea, but I've yet to be convinced about using carbon plates inside a trail shoe. I know that some trail shoes have these rock plates to protect your foot, but I don't think that's the intention of the Mountain Fly. I think it's a little bit of style over substance here as well, which the ACG line tends to be. At 165 Earth credits, it's a nay for me on the Nike ACG Mountain Fly Low GORE-TEX. I managed to do it first try. Woohoo! What do you make of these 4 contenders today, guys? It's only really one that I'm kind of interested in. That Nike Bayou is just ridiculously expensive. I like the idea of the Adidas shoe, but there's just too many other shoes out there right now that do the same thing. And the Mountain Fly, React, carbon plates, they just don't work for me. Let me know your thoughts and opinions, guys, down in the comments. A musical interlude for you. Now, one of my favourite albums ever is Scott 4 from Scott Walker. I think it's a little bit overlooked, this one, you know. Every track is really interesting. The production's just totally off the wall. It's quite a departure, actually, from all of Scott Walker's other material, certainly his early solo albums. Boy Child is a beautiful song. There's almost an oriental feel about some of the melodies there and the instrumentation. Hero of the War strikes a real chord at the moment, actually. Some of the verses there really cuts to the chase. I really like the track Get Behind Me as well. Really uplifting, that one. Track 2 is called On Your Own Again, which sounds like it could be quite a sullen song, you know, quite melancholy, but it's actually the total reverse of that. A beautiful album. Every song is just perfectly crafted. Scott 4 from Scott Walker. Right, cats, it's time for me to rock and roll out of here. Thanks for tuning in. Hit that subscribe button, click the bell below for notifications, and also give this video a thumbs up, like, and share it with your running buddies. My name's EDDBUD, and I'll be seeing you